I never thought Ramrock's loyalists would go this far.
They must have come this way. Think!
I've no idea who it is you think I might have seen. I've been busy with my research. I do not have time to...
Victor Rookwood don't give a doxy's nip back your time. Oi! Speak of the devil. Mr. Rookwood would like a word with you.
A student? You can't be serious.
Enough out of you.
Leave her alone.
Stupefy!
You'll regret crossing my path.
What are you doing? Protego! Accio! Incendio!
I'll watch the light go out of your eyes. Oh, I'm gonna enjoy it.
We can hold them off!
I'm not going anywhere with you.
You'll take this student from my dead body!
Leviosa! Accio! Incendio!
You're going to regret that.
Protego!
What on earth just happened? I've never been accosted in such a manner, and so close to Hogwarts.
Are you all right?
I am, thanks in no small part to your excellent defensive skills. Care to tell me why two Ashwinders were ready to dispatch me to get to you?
Ashwinders?
Victor Rookwood's thieves and extortionists, his little cronies. They seemed quite keen on you.
It's a long story, but thank you for your help.
Well, you've avoided them for the moment. Priya warned me things were getting dangerous. Best get moving on my research before they return.
You're a researcher?
Nora Treadwell at your service, historian and archaeologist specializing in Merlin's work and life.
Merlin? Of the legend of King Arthur?
The very same. Merlin attended Hogwarts, you know, and I'm studying some curious fixtures he left here centuries ago.
Fixtures?
These vine-covered pillars, dozens of them all around the area. I've taken to calling them the Trials of Merlin. I believe he created them as a diversion for his fellow Slytherins. He was terribly fond of puzzles and enigmas.
I can see why you're so interested in Merlin. I'd be keen to know more about the trials.
Well then, I'll let you in on a little secret. No one has yet managed to figure out how they work. But I believe I have just unlocked a crucial clue. I suspect that Mallowsweet is an important component in getting the trials to work.
Mallowsweet?
Versatile herb. Merlin repeatedly mentioned it in his writings. I had just arrived to test my theory when I was so rudely interrupted. You see, each swirl in Merlin's writing has a symbol in the center. That started me thinking, what if...
The Mallowsweet is meant to be placed at the center of the symbols.
Precisely. Would you care to do the honors? We can see what comes of our little hypothesis. I brought a trunk chock full of Mallowsweet with me. It's just over there by my tent.
This trunk?
Yes, take plenty, even if you already have some.
I have the Mallowsweet.
Lovely. Now, notice the vines on these pillars here, as well as a stone swell on the ground. Each trial has these features. Place the Mallowsweet on the swell, and we'll see what happens. My word! Did you see that? The vines disappeared.
Incendio. What should I do now? The flames make the pyre sing.
Uncharted territory. I am curious about these pyres. Yes, how beautiful! today. I can hardly believe it.
I take it we can call that a success?
We can indeed. However, I now have even more questions. How does it work? I must review my notes. I may have missed something.
Are all of the trials like this one?
Oh, not precisely. Well, I think each has those telltale vines and the swirl on the ground. You should feel free to solve them as you come across them. I believe I have what I need to continue my research. My guess is that each will also require mallow sweet, which you can find in Hogsmeade should you need more. I really must be off. Such a pleasure to meet you. And do be careful out here. I've got what I needed. I shall return to the safety of my notes and books.
I never thought Ramrock's loyalists would go this far.
Pardon me, is everything all right?
Hardly. I've just lost my business and almost my life. You'd best look elsewhere for wares. I've nothing to sell now. I never thought it'd come to this. Be on your guard. Ramrock and his loyalists will spare no one.
They attacked you.
Oh, Ramrock has no patience for goblins who won't join him. While I too would like to see goblin kind treated by wizards as equals, bloodshed is not the answer. When I said as much, they turned on me, struck me till I...
I'm sorry this happened to you. I shall certainly keep an eye out for your cards.
That is very kind of you, but I think they took them to their camp southwest of here, just past some ruins. Too dangerous to try and retrieve them. I did enchant the carts to return to me if I ever lost them, however. Slim though the chances may be, I'm holding out hope that some of what was taken is returned to me. It was nice meeting you. I wish it had been under better circumstances.
After what Ranrock did to that goblin banker at Gringotts, I shouldn't be surprised at what happened to Arn. Accio! Potato! Incendio! Revelio. Revelio. Could it be a Merlin trial? Revelio. These Merlin trials won't get the best of me. Revelio. Accio. Incendio. Protego. Stupefy. Incendio. Yes. Protego. Accio. Stupid one. Incendio. An encampment. This must be it.
Could do with a nice mushroom stew about now.
Looks as if there's more than one way to enter. Petrificus totalis.
How long for a bacon and mushroom stew? Oh, someone there?
Protego. Stupid one. Accio.
I will.
If you are there. Stupid one. Incendio.
I won't rest.
Protego. Stupid one.
I won't rest. Dead. I've been fighting. You won't get away with that.
Incendio. Protego. That was quite something. Now, to free Arn's cards. Accio. Levioso. Accio. Revelio. Accio. Incendio. Accio. quite an enchantment. The carts are returning to Arn. Incendio. Arn, I have good news. Your carts are on their way back.
I don't know what to say. Any hope I have of getting my belongings back was quickly fading. Ramrock's lot called me a fool for believing in the good in wizard kind. Thank you for proving them wrong.
The ones I faced were determined to make...
Oh, I'm glad you're all right. Oh, I can't... Perhaps my next piece will be a tribute to all that is good between us.
What a nice idea, Arn. I wish you luck with it.
Oh, I can't wait to get started. Thank you again for all you've done.
Revelio.
All the best to you. Once my carts arrive, I'd be happy to show you my wares.
Professor, I wondered, did you attend Hogwarts?
I did. I am a proud member of Ravenclaw House. Why do you ask?
I was curious as to how Hogwarts has changed over the years.
I see. Well, the castle itself, as I'm sure you have surmised, is full of surprises. I dare say more than the staircases change around here. As for the students, well, they seem to get more capable every year. Although, we got up to just as much mischief in my day as you seem to now. I used to look the other way at all sorts of roguery when I was head girl. I can tell you, however, that I did once admonish a certain Phineas Nigella's Black for enjoying a sugar quill during a lecture.
I hadn't realized that you and Professor Black were, students here together.
Appearances can be deceiving. You see, I was once wounded by time itself.
Time itself? I never would have imagined such a thing.
Ah, well, it was the risk I took with my prior position. You may or may not have heard that I was an unspeakable at the Ministry for years.
An unspeakable? What does...
As you might suspect, I cannot speak about what we did. Suffice it to say, the job was not without its hazards. Now, I hope I've satisfied your curiosity for the moment.
You have. Thank you for speaking with me, Professor.
Keep up with your wand work. One must always be prepared for mischief, both inside and outside of the castle. I hope you were able to take care of everything.
Professor, I completed all of your most recent assignments.
Well done. Then you're ready to learn Expelliarmus. Pay close attention. The disarming charm may often be all you need to defeat the most powerful dark witches and wizards you might encounter. Spellcasting requires a focused mind and a steady wand. Good work. The dummy is here. Stay in practice.
Expelliarmus!
You seem to have the right end of the stick, but keep practicing. Expelliarmus may save your life one day.
Revelio.
My house broom will do me fine for a while.
Incendio.
That was nothing. You should see the charm I've been working on.
Now, is she growing Punja's onion again?
Good morning, Professor Garlick.
How wonderful it is to see you again, Lenora dear. Oh, here. You'll need these for today's class. A little treat for your auntie. Ah, hello. Class, please welcome the newest rose in our garden. We do look forward to growing together. How thrilling it is to have everyone back together again. This year will be filled with enchantment and excitement, but the most important thing cultivated in herbology is knowledge. The prudent herbologist is no more afraid of the venomous tentacula than the bouncing bulb. Now then, today we will be acquainting ourselves with the mellifluous tuber known as the mandrake root. Accio. Let's see if we can't make our fibrous friends a bit more comfortable, shall we? First, let's protect our ears. Now, everyone, grip their mandrake by the tendrils and give it a firm tug. The soil should envelop the root like a warm, dirty blanket, putting the mandrake right at ease. Reparo! I'm very sorry about that. Yours was a bit mature, I'm afraid. All right then, off you go. Splendid work, everyone. Now, for our next task, we'll be planting dittany at our pot.
I wonder if hippogriffs like knotgrass.
Yes, Professor.
Firstly, well done with your mandrake. They can be rather difficult to get a grasp of.
Actually, I enjoyed it. I couldn't help but catch your enthusiasm.
How kind of you. It seems you're already taking to herbology like a mandrake to fresh soil. Now, as I mentioned, next we'll be planting dittany. Let us find you some seeds.
I already have some, Professor. Picked them up in Hogsmeade.
You visited the Magic Neep. Wonderful. A prepared student is bound to bloom. I've arranged for you to have your own potting table here in the classroom. Wasn't easy to spare one on such late notice. Plant the seeds there now, and you can return to harvest them later. Even with soil, sunlight, and a bit of magic, they will take time to grow.
Let's see how to balance my star thistle arrangement. Niffler's fancy or roses?
Dittany's restorative properties make it a vital ingredient in the Wiggenweld potion, as you all should know from Professor Sharp's class. Well done! Once it can be harvested, your dittany will be ready to use in Wiggenweld potion. I'll let Professor Now, what say we branch out? Introduce you to a different sort of flora, the Chinese chomping cabbage. You'll find that some plants are better suited to uses outside of a cauldron. The cabbages do get testy without something to chew. Fortunately, I have a dummy for them to gnaw on. Be a dear and let them have a good chomping.
Yes, Professor.
They're in the other greenhouse. It's just at the end of the footbridge leading out of this room. Your classmate, Mr. Pruitt, has kindly offered to accompany you. Come back and see me when you're finished. Oh, and mind your fingers. They do bite.
Hello. Saw you on your way to Hogsmeade the other day. Nice to meet you. I'm Leander.
Excuse me?
Your duel with Sebastian.
Revelio.
And he's good. Thinks he's really good. But you outright slaughtered him. It was brilliant.
Oh. Well, thank you.
I nearly put Sebastian in his place myself. I mean, I would have, if Hecate hadn't stopped me.
Didn't she stop?
Here we are. Home of the Chinese chomp. Go on, grab a few of those cabbages. Now, see that dummy? Just toss the cabbages at it, and they'll do the rest. Look at that. They'll chomp on anything they can get their mouths on. Mum planted some in her garden last year to keep the gnomes out. Did save her the denoming, but they left her honking daffodils in tatters. Vicious little bastards, aren't they? My kind of plants. Not like stupid booba tubers and bouncing bulbs. The kind of plants that just have your back in a fight. Not saying you can't go it alone, but, well, imagine that wasn't a dummy.
I suppose they could prove useful outside of the greenhouse. Nothing wrong with a bit of backup, even if it is from a cabbage.
It's chaos out there. Trolls in Hogsmeade and such. You can't be above throwing a cruciferous vegetable if necessary. Dogweed and deathcap has more of them, if you're keen. Other plants too. Ones your parents wouldn't plant in the garden. You get the idea. Anyway, we probably ought to head back to class. Take your time. I'll see you back in class.
Revelio.
With that helpful reminder as to why we should always...
The best time to plant a seed is last season. The second best time is now.
I went to the lake once, wanting to have a sing-song just by myself.
I tended to the Chinese chomping cabbages, Professor.
Remarkable plants, aren't they? I hope they weren't too much trouble. Oh, don't see any bite marks or missing digits. And good, as you do seem to be quite green-fingered. Oh, I'm eager to see your skill in the soil continue to blossom.
Magical plants have so much to offer. I'm eager to learn more.
I'm glad. Herbology is a bounteous subject. Tend to your garden, and it will tend to you. Huh. Well, I suppose that's everything. Do come by for a chat sometime. I so enjoy checking in with my new students.
Revelio.
But those mandrakes are really relishing their new pots. Only cost me my damned hearing.
To make anything grow, we must first understand it. Plants, as well as friendship, kindness and concern are as necessary in the greenhouse.
Harry Pippin, dear me.
Relieved to finally have an answer as to why that portrait was empty. That's the last
Maybe
time.
orders or someone from the ministry guarding the school.
Professor Black would never allow that. It would make him look completely incompetent, which he do.
Revelio.
Who Potions is one of the most challenging and hazardous subjects taught at this school. As fifth years, you will be required to reach new heights of both discipline and intellect. You will begin this term by brewing a Wigan Weld potion. Mr. Takar, can you tell us why this particular potion might come in handy?
Yes, Professor Sharp. The Wiggenweld potion can be used to sterilize and even heal a variety of injuries.
It can heal some injuries, but not all. Points for Ravenclaw. Before today's class is completed, each of you will have brewed a Wiggenweld potion of your own. You never know when you might need it. Please begin. Use a strong, even motion when crushing your ingredients. Please be meticulous when adding powder to your potions. One errant sneeze could be disastrous. I see most of you have not forgotten how to stir. Not an easy potion to brew. Well done. And from what I hear of your recent exploits in Hogsmeade, you'd also do well to practice brewing the defensive Edurus potion. Professor Weasley had you acquire the recipe from J. Pippins, correct?
Yes, sir.
Good. For the moment, you can find the ingredients you need in my office. But in the future, you'll be expected to provide your own ingredients. Some can be harvested from the plants you grow in your herbology class, and rarer ones can be purchased. Others, however, may be harder to obtain, and will require you to be a bit more resourceful. Come and see me when you've finished brewing, and we'll see if it was skill or luck the first time round.
My parents considered keeping me home from school this year after the rumors of a goblin rebellion.
Proficiency and potions are two things that cannot be rushed. Have patience and be thorough.
Did I hear Professor Sharp say that you have permission to go into his office?
He did say that. He wants me to get more ingredients to brew another potion.
Brilliant! You, my friend, have been presented with an extraordinary opportunity. I'm Gareth, by the way. Gareth Weasley. Bit of a prodigy with potions, if I do say so myself.
Pleasure to meet you. Wait, are you related to Professor Weasley?
She's my aunt. Keeps too close an eye on me for comfort. Ugh. But she can't be everywhere. Listen, anyone with a troll-sized brain can brew an Edurus potion. I'm working on something that's certain to be spectacular. I'm just missing one tiny last ingredient that will add that extra spark.
I suspect that's where I come in.
You're as clever as I'd hoped. I simply need a single Fwooper feather. As you'll already be in Sharp's office with his permission, perhaps you could grab it for me.
I'll get you the Fwooper feather, as long as you're certain Sharp won't miss it.
I assure you he won't. Fwooper feathers aren't that valuable. Wait until you see what I'm brewing. Hurry back to me when you have the feather.
A well-prepared... Potion stations organized and free of clutter.
Here's the Fwooper feather you wanted.
Brilliant! Thank you! This is going to take a moment to brew. You should get back to brewing your Edurus potion, and I'll tell you when this concoction's finished.
Should you chop the Dittany or crush it? The wrong answer could result in the unfortunate loss of your eyebrows.
And now we add the mallow sweet, and...
That's odd. What's happening? Wait, it's not supposed to. Ah!
Get it!
Dragon Dog! What happened?
Well done, Gareth.
What now, Mr. Weasley?
Sorry, Professor.
That'll be points from Gryffindor. Again.
Mr. Weasley did not do this on his own. His accomplice will answer to me as well.
I brewed an Adurus potion as you asked, Professor.
I'm surprised you had the time. You seemed rather busy helping Mr. Weasley brew chaos.
I'm sorry, Professor. I was merely trying to help a friend.
Taking responsibility for one's actions does go a long way with me. I shall assume that you've learnt a lesson. As for the work you did today at your own cauldron, I will say you've done well. I confess I was skeptical given the advanced nature of this class and the fact you're a new student.
I'm glad I was able to meet your expectations.
A rare occurrence. And you do well to remember that you're not a potions master quite yet. In addition to having a solid grasp of how to combine various ingredients, you should gain an understanding of the ingredients themselves. Pay particular attention in herbology. The plants you nurture there are often essential to the potions you brew here. Now, I recommend that you find a safe location in which to practice brewing. You cannot leave a hot cauldron simply anywhere. That'll be all. I think each of us has had enough excitement for one day. Class is dismissed.
A portrait in our common room wants to talk to you. It's Eldritch Diggory. He used to be the Minister for Magic, I think.
Ugh, my robes are going to reap from their inspiration for the rest of the term.
Oh.
I can't help it if I was having a nightmare.
Revelio.
Off on another adventure, are we?
You wanted to see me, sir?
Indeed. Allow me to introduce myself. So few students know who I am these days. Eldritch Diggory, former Minister for Magic and founder of the Aura Recruitment Program at your service. I believe you can help solve a decades-old murder, thanks to that book you found, and, in particular, its missing pages.
How do you know about the book and the pages?
We portraits hear more than you might suspect, and most of us can keep a secret. So, what say you? Surely a Hufflepuff such as yourself would be inclined to help seek long overdue justice.
I'll do whatever I can.
Wonderful. I am pleased to have been right about you. My great-niece, Helen Thistlewood, can provide you with details. She's retired now, but was a skilled aura in her day. And the unsolved murder of which I speak was her case. I often visit my portrait in her home, in the nearby hamlet of Upper Hogsfield. Shall I tell her to expect you?
I shall go and see her right away.
Brilliant. With what I suspect is your knack for hard work and her keen mind, both mysteries may be solved sooner than you think. I shall see you there, soon I hope.
You're the student who dealt with that loyalist camp near Lower Hogsfield.
Abandoned long ago, no doubt. This must be the place Minister Diggory mentioned. Helen lives around here somewhere.
Ranrock's loyalists are a menace. What can be done?
A map. It doesn't appear to be connected to the missing pages. Best hang on to it. I couldn't help but overhear. Did you mention Ranrock's loyalists?
I did. Never imagined they'd act this deadly. I'm Claire Beaumont, by the way.
Nice to meet you.
Ranrock and his followers have set up camp here. No regard for our beloved hamlet or our livelihoods. Ruthless. My brother Bardolph dared to stand up to them and ended up in St. Mungo's. I'm simply at my wit's end.
I'm unfortunately quite familiar with Ranrock's loyalists. Perhaps I can do something.
Much as I would love to be rid of them, I wouldn't want you to risk injury, or worse. Please be cautious. We should not have to live in fear.
It seems as though things are getting worse. Best be on my guard. Revelio. Not sure how I'd fare in a little place like this.
Bardolph Beaumont should have returned by now. Had by dark wizards he was.
Ah, here you are. I'm pleased to see you took my advice.
Madam Thistlewood, I met your great-uncle in his portrait in my common room. He sent me to speak to you.
I'm pleased you came. Uncle Eldridge believes the book you found and its missing pages may be relevant to an unsolved case from my time as an aura.
Very well. I'm listening.
Decades ago, a student named Richard Jackdaw disappeared after going to meet a girl named Anne. They never found his body. When his headless ghost appeared briefly in Hogsmeade, wholly unaware of how he died, Anne was convicted of his murder and sent to Azkaban. It was in large part due to the testimony of a girl called Apollonia Black. Jealous of Anne, I think.
That sounds terrible, but I'm not sure how I can help.
Anne's alibi was somewhat labyrinthine. She said Jackdaw promised her adventure following a map he found on some pages he'd stolen from Peeves.
And you think Peeves ripped those pages from the book I found in the restricted section?
If my great-uncle is to be believed, yes. At least that's what the portraits at Hogwarts suspect. Anne insisted that Jackdaw had asked her to follow the map with him, but only after she solved a series of puzzles he'd prepared. Odd way to woo a girl. She swears she never even solved the first puzzle, so they didn't meet. Jackdaw's ghost vanished almost as soon as he appeared. Without Jackdaw's puzzle, pages, or remains, Anne was sent to Azkaban based solely on Apollonia's spurious testimony.
I don't understand. What can I do to help?
I believe Anne may have solved the first puzzle by now, but after spending time in Azkaban, she's a shadow of her former self. She won't speak to anyone she doesn't trust, and she trusts no one. If you, a student with a connection to the pages, like Jackdaw had, spoke to Anne, she might reveal.
What a horrible story. If you think I can help, I'll come with you.
This is wonderful news. You are to be commended for your kindness and bravery. Fortunately, being a retired aura has its benefits. We can apparate right to her. I've escorted ministers, professors, and many others to that blasted place. Never a student, I'll admit, but I will keep you safe.
Very well. Let's go.
Steady yourself. We'll apparate together. Don't worry, I've never splinched anyone.
Do take care now, and tread lightly in that horrible place.
We'll be there in but a moment. That ought to keep them at bay for now. Though, be aware, you may feel a wave of despair. It will pass.
Thank you for the warning.
This really is a dismal place. but we'll be out of here soon enough. Now follow me. Mind your step.
I never thought I'd see the inside of Azkaban for myself.
Nasty Dementors. Not even I could convince the Ministry to send them off. There's no need for such monsters.
Careful around, Anne. She's been here a lot longer than the rest of us.
If I had my wand, I'd cast Crucio on the lot of you!
You don't scare me, young cur. They teach you so little of what you should know at Hogwarts.
That witch you're with has a dark cloud over her. I can feel it.
Has someone come to feed me? Is someone there?
No one at school's going to believe this.
Now remember, Anne has been here a long time. The Dementors aren't kind. Have patience and speak to her quietly and respectfully.
Are you Anne?
Who's there? Who speaks to me? Is that death finally come for me?
I'm a student from Hogwarts. I found the book that you said would exonerate you.
Ah, the book, the book. No one would look. None of the mages found the pages. Methinks the feckless knave meandered to his cave. My fate was surely sealed in Upper Hoggyfield.
Are you saying that the missing pages are in a cave? Near Upper Hogsfield?
Hogsfield, ruins house, a vault concealed.
A vault in some ruins near Upper Hogsfield? I suppose it can't hurt to look.
Can't hurt to look, can't hurt to look. Go find the pages from your book. Ellen, know you're here. Come in closer, be a dear.
What is it, Anne?
You're hurt.
Go. The cave. You're safe now. You have what you need. I'll be all right once I get...
But Madam Thistlewood, All right. I'll find it. I'll find Jackdaw's cave.
Shane Bardolph thought dark magic...
Excuse me. Did you say something about Bardolph Beaumont?
I did. I don't think we've met. I'm Dorothy Sprottle. I was just worrying about Claire Beaumont's brother Bardolph, only he's gone missing. Rumour is he was seen in the forest practicing dark magic. Saw him myself near some ruins with Rookwood's lot I did. I fear he got himself into trouble with the Ashwinders, especially if he made them a promise he couldn't keep. I'd help search for him myself, but no one will risk encountering Ranrock's loyalists. They seem to be everywhere.
I can certainly look out for him.
Any help would be appreciated. You might speak to Claire first. Perhaps she has some insights that I don't. I can tell you that Bardolph was last seen in the forest wearing a particular woolen jumper, one that Claire knitted herself. Claire will be at her shop if you'd like to speak with her.
Madame Beaumont, might I speak with you?
Yes? What about?
Mrs. Sprottle told me a little about your brother's disappearance.
Oh, dear Dorothy. She'd go looking for Bardolph herself if she could.
She mentioned dark magic and even the Ashwinders.
Despite my repeated warnings, Bardolph's been experimenting with dark magic near the edge of the forest. I thought perhaps he'd get it out of his system and it would gradually stop. But then one day, he didn't come home.
I'll let you know if I see or hear anything about him.
Thank you. How kind. I'd be so grateful to learn where he is. I know in my heart he's out there. Do be careful.
What do you have for sale?
Bardolph, where are you? I'll not give up hope. Oh, you like that? A fine choice. Marvellous. I could always use more of these. Be alert. Ranrock's loyalists are unpredictable and violent.
It seems as though things are getting worse. Best be on my guard.
Revelio. Revelio.
Past the river near the forest. It must be on the right track. Protego! Levioso! Incendio! Leviosa! Incendio. Protego. Stupefy. Accio. Incendio. Is that Inferius with a whip jumper? That must be Bardolph. Protego! Stupid one! Incendio! Bardolph's whip jumper. I'm not sure Madame Beaumont would want to know what really happened. Stupid one! Incendio! Protego! Stupid one! Stupid one! Incendio! This mentions Inferi, and something about it being Bardolph's turn next. An entry from Bardolph's journal. He overheard whispers, a plan, something to do with him. Revelio. Incendio! What do you have in store for me this time? Hello. Do you have anything for sale?
That I do, but what's a student like yourself doing out here? Got yourself lost, did you?
Just exploring the countryside a bit.
Aye. Nice to break the routine now and then. Bit of a wanderer myself, in fact. Name's Leopold Babcock, and I am indeed here to sell. Now, for someone like yourself who is also prone to wander, I cannot understate the importance of keeping some Wiggenweld potion on hand. I wouldn't dare set foot in a place like the Forbidden Forest without a steady supply. What do you say, my young friend? A measure of safety for the path ahead?
Something to consider. Thank you for your help, Mr. Babcock.
Aye, let me know if you see something you like.
What do you have for sale?
See if there's something you need. I shall hope to do business with you again. Thank you for your patronage. It's been a pleasure.
One of Ranrock's camps, exactly as Madame Beaumont described.
Vicious plants!
Expelliarmus. I hate wasting my time. One less human to worry about. One less human to... Over here!
There you go, stupid.
How nice of you to stop by.
Incendio.
Stupid. I'll cut you from shoes to chapeau. Your little magic tricks won't distract me.
Potato. Incendio.
I won't rest until you're dead. No! I will make it.
One camp down, one more to go.
Revelio.
Up for a bit of dying, are we? The area's still clear.
Petricus totalis.
Not quiet enough.
Incendio.
Potato. Stupid. This out longer than necessary.
Accio.
I won't rest. One less human to worry about. Why can't I hit you?
Incendio. Protego.
I will make you pay.
Levioso. Accio.
Stupid child. You look tired. I won't rest until you're dead. Does Hogwarts teach you nothing about dueling? No! How nice of you to stop by.
Protego.
Stupid.
Accio. Levioso.
I won't rest until you're dead. You are postponing the inevitable.
Stupid.
Lucky, that's all.
Accio.
You don't know who you're playing with. How
Protego.
Stop it.
Accio.
No! I won't.
Incendio.
Someone's taken out last me.
Ranrock has fooled you all. To your demise.
Both camps cleared. Madame Beaumont will be glad to hear that.
Oh, I do hope my brother is all right.
Hello, Madame Beaumont. Good news. I was able to clear out Ranrock's camps.
You cleared them out? How?
It was harrowing, and they dug in their heels, but I managed.
When my brother returns, this news will mean the world to him. You saved our hamlet, my young friend. This will not be forgotten. I fear for other hamlets, truly. Ranrock and his lot are unlike any goblins I've ever seen.
I should be going now. Thank you.
What are you looking for exactly? Thank you. Sincerely. Oh, I do hope my brother is all right.
Madame Beaumont, I do have some news of your brother.
Oh, please tell me he's safe.
I regret to say that Bardolph had been turned into an Inferius, and I had to kill him.
What? But how could you possibly think that an Inferius was my brother Bardolph? That's absurd.
He was wearing a woolen jumper, hand-knitted.
No. No. This can't be.
I'm truly sorry. I wish it had been better news. I wish you well, Madame Beaumont.
What more could I have done? Oh, Bardolph! Bardolph, my dear.
Lumos.
This must be the place Anne told me about. No one's been here for ages.
Accio!
No. How did you do this, Jackdaw? No, that's not it. You'll not outfox me, Jackdaw.
Accio!
It's no wonder Anne never found that clue. No. How did you do this, Jackdaw? You couldn't outwit me, Jackdaw. Now, where's the clue you left behind? A note from Jackdaw. Anne never found it. So how did he die? Was she to blame at all?
Incendio! Incendio! Accio!
Could it be?
Someone solved my puzzle after all these years. Well done indeed. Richard Jackdaw, at your service.
The Richard Jackdaw. I heard you disappeared years ago. You have some explaining to do.
I do? That was my puzzle you solved. What are you doing here?
A retired aura, Helen Thistlewood, told me about a map you stole from Peeves, and then Anne told me about a cave.
You saw Anne? Broke my heart. I had to go on without her. Probably best for her in the end. Dare I ask? How is she?
She was imprisoned in Azkaban for your murder. I fear the Dementors have taken an irreversible toll on her.
What? Azkaban? Oh, poor Anne. I had no idea. I thought she'd written me off. I've been traveling the world for years to mend my broken heart. I came back here only recently, on a whim. I must speak to the aura you mentioned and see how I can help Anne.
I'm glad to hear it. Before you go, would I still be able to find the pages with the map Helen mentioned?
I'm almost certain I dropped them in the cave the moment I was beheaded. They're bound to be mouldering away with the rest of me. Tell you what, meet me at the edge of the Forbidden Forest, and I'll show you precisely where to find them.
Thank you. I need to find those pages to help a friend.
I shall see you there.
Lumos. Enchanted candles. Wonder where they're heading. The candles seem to be leading into the Forbidden Forest. The treasure must be nearby. I suppose a picnic in the Forbidden Forest. Treasure hunting suits me.
Here I am, as good as my word.
We meet again, Richard Jackdaw.
I suppose I shouldn't be surprised to see you. It would take the patience of a Hufflepuff to track down these pages.
Well said. Now where do we go from here?
Follow me. I shall lead you as far as I can, but I fear I may remain a tad reluctant to revisit the scene of my demise. Keep your eyes open for a bird bath. When you find it, say Intramuros. I think it's Latin, or Greek. As you can imagine, I never paid much attention in school. Shall we?
Aside from the bird bath, anything else I should look for?
Indeed. A few landmarks, a stone bridge, a waterfall, and, if I recall, a lake. You'll see.
You've been very helpful. Thank you.
Surprising how much of this is, rather unfortunately, coming back to me. Yes. You know, The closer we get, the more I'm remembering. Probably best I leave you to it. Simply stick to the path and keep a sharp eye out for the bird. And you.
Incendio! Incendio! Potato! Stupefy! Incendio! Incendio! The waterfall. For a thief, Jackdaw's surprisingly as good as his word. something oddly solemn about this place. Such regal creatures, stags. There it is, just as Jackdaw described. Intramuros.
Aren't you a little far from home?
Ranrock knew you'd eventually lead us to whatever it is you're hiding. Attack!
Incendio. Protego. Stupid one. A coward.
I won't rest until you're dead. No! I will make you pay.
Protego.
No risk those loyalists will report back to Ranrock now. Let's see where Jackdaw has led me. I wonder how big this place is. Impressive. That must be where all this leads. Someone didn't want casual visitors down here. I wonder if any of my spells will help me through this.
Incendio. Protego. Stupid one.
I'm not gonna touch those. Ugh.
Levioso. Accio. Incendio. Protego. Stupid one. Incendio. Incendio. Protego.
Another puzzle. Well, if Jack can solve this, so can I. Remarkable. Platform ought to be able to float straight to me. An untouched chest. Jackdaw wasn't very thorough in his search of this cave. I'm glad Richard Jackdaw left a little something behind for me, but where could he be? Not a headless skeleton in sight. But I may as well help myself to this. It's a good thing Jackdaw didn't fall down there. Accio! An untouched chest. Jackdaw wasn't very thorough in his search of this cave. Incendio! That's odd. I'd have thought Jackdaw would have been interested in this loot, but there's no sign. Incendio. Incendio! Incendio! Not a headless skeleton in sight. But I may as well help myself to this. Accio! Incendio! An untouched chest. Jackdaw wasn't very thorough in his search of this cave. Accio! That's odd. I'd have thought Jackdaw would have been interested in this loot, but there's no sign of him. Not a headless skeleton in sight. But I may as well help myself to this. There it is. The bridge, it's almost complete. More spiders. These can't be what beheaded Richard Jackdaw. Levioso. Protego. monster. I can only imagine how these spiders have multiplied since Jackdaw came this way. I'm glad Richard Jackdaw left a little something behind for me, but where could he be? I must be getting closer to Jackdaw's remains and those pages. We meet again, Richard Jackdaw. Thank you for keeping these pages safe all these years. Here it is, the map that brought your doom, Jackdaw. Is there something beyond this room? Incendio! Protego! Expelliarmus! Accio! Stupefy! That's unnerving. What's happening? I've seen this before. In Gringotts and the restricted section. Where am I? Oh no, the room's starting to flood. How am I being protected? What sort of magic is this? I can only hope this magic protects me until I'm able to make my way out of here. What is this place?
Can it be?
It's you.
Has someone finally found our map chamber?
I recognize you from the Pensives. You're Professor Rackham.
I am indeed. I must confess that I am surprised to see someone so young standing before me.
I'm the same age that you and Isadora Morganach were when you started at Hogwarts.
You've paid attention, and might I presume you share our ability?
To see traces of ancient magic? Yes, sir, I do.
As you have likely realized by now, our ability gives us a unique relationship with all forms of magic. We can access expressions of magic that few others can. Opportunities will arise that allow you to sharpen this rare talent. Do not squander them.
I won't, Professor. Thank you.
We have much to discuss. But first, a map found in a certain book led you here. Place the book on the pedestal.
I don't have the book with me, sir.
That is unfortunate. I'm afraid we must pause our conversation until you return with the book.
Very well. I'll retrieve the book right away.
Good. We shall speak again once the book is in place.
I found the pages and the map chamber. Why would I need the book? I'm back at Hogwarts. I wonder when Professor Fig will be back. I did promise him I wouldn't neglect my studies while he was away. Suppose I have enough to distract myself with till he returns with the book.
learned Depulso, the banishing charm, useful for pushing objects or adversaries away. Complete the required tasks and meet me in my classroom.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry!
Revelio.
Hello there. In the market for potions, are we? What can I do for you today? A wise decision. Thank you. I hope to see you again. Farewell for now. What can I do for you today? A wise decision. Thank you.
Excellent. Revelio.
You're worrying far too much. Nobody's looking at you.
Look at that boy.
Why did you buy me a second pair? I hate these socks.
Novelty socks at that price can't be passed up. Be thankful you have socks.
I'd rather have no socks than be dancing like this.
You're not dancing, you're exercising.
Father, why is he dancing?
See? And you'd said the charm's come out in the wash, but it hasn't.
Someone so dramatic, just like your father. Anyone would think you had an affliction.
Has he been cursed?
Oh, please, can't we take these socks back to Mr. Hill and get me some
When
normal
you pay
ones?
for your own socks, then you get to choose. Until then, you'll learn to be thrifty and behave. You're starting to cause a scene.
Papa, can we really wash charms out of things?
Don't be absurd. That woman will say anything to avoid spending her knut. Come in, look around, and if you've been eating chocolate frogs, please refrain from touching. You won't be disappointed. That's a Gladrag's promise. You won't be disappointed. That's a Gladrag's promise. I suspect you have a sharp eye for... Be sure to stop by whenever you're about. You won't be disappointed. That's a Gladrag's promise. I suspect you have a sharp eye for fashion. Stop by whenever you're about. I suspect you have a sharp eye for fashion. Be sure to stop by whenever you're about.
But surely those were curdle.
How are your assignments coming along?
I completed your assignments, Professor.
Good. You should be ready to learn Depulso. Let's see what you can do. Concentrate. Do not let your mind wander. You've got it now. Well done. I'm glad to see that you seem staunchly determined to master your spellcasting. Still at it, I see. Well. Can be an excellent teacher.
The Daedalian keys are back. Aren't they brilliant?
Is everything all right?
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm Nellie, by the way. I'm just so excited that the Daedalian keys are back.
The what keys?
The Daedalian keys. Surely you've seen them flying about. Rumour is that a former headmistress, Professor Moll, conjured them to protect the contents of certain locked cabinets years ago. Professor Black couldn't be bothered to disenchant the keys, and they appear every few years. You should try to catch one.
Why would I do that?
Each key will lead you to a locked cabinet somewhere in the castle. If you can manage to get the key into the cabinet lock, not an easy task, you may find a reward.
Perhaps I'll give it a go.
I hope you do. In fact, I think I heard one of the keys in the astronomy tower. You should listen for them. I hope you follow a few keys at least. If you manage to open a cabinet, I'd love to know what you find, if anything.
Heard you're defending Hogsmeade against trolls. You know, there is such a thing as...
How nice to see you, my young friend.
Revelio.
Brilliant how
Levioso.
Sallow in that duel.
Revelio. A Daedalian key. I wonder where it might lead me. Revelio. Lumos. Revelio.
Still can't believe you won every single Crossed Ones battle.
Incendio. Lumos.
Complete the tasks I've given you, and then meet me in my classroom to learn Defender, the severing charm. It's typically used to cut an object that can be... weapon when needed.
Handy resource indeed.
There's the cabinet. Got it. An old coin. Perhaps Nellie knows what it means.
Were you able to follow one of the Daedalian keys?
Hello, Nellie. I managed to get a Daedalian key into its lock.
Brilliant. What did you find in the cabinet?
A curious token of some sort.
Looks like some sort of house token. I bet it unlocks house chests. I call them house chests. I've seen the one in Gryffindor and heard they're also in the other common rooms as well. Keep an eye out. I do hope you continue on.
I should see this through and find the Hufflepuff. This must... Seems I'll need to find more house tokens if I'm to open this. Quite a few by the look of it.
There was a rumour that if you knocked on the barrels in the rhythm of a Christmas carol, you'd get a present.
People are...
Revelio.
Someone was trying to come up with some sort of pepper hex the other day.
Why study in the common room when you can be outside in the fresh air?
Incendio!
The main use of plants? I said picking them. What? How are there so many lectures in herbology?
I like to keep...
Revelio.